It is a great day to be a Raiders fan. Let's talk about it. Shout out to everyone pulling up, guys. Shout out to the nation. Shout out to Valentine's Day, everybody. It is the greatest day to be a Raiders fan. Nate, the news just dropped. Derek Carr has been officially released by the Raiders. We can finally move on. Nate, how we feeling, man? How we feeling?
Uh, feeling great, feeling nice. I mean, it is what it is. We going now. You know what I'm saying? On to the next one.
We finally
Cause
can move on to something else. Move on, talk about something else. Adam Schefter from ESPN said Raiders officially informed quarterback Derek Carr per source. Team released him before the 40.4 million in his contract became guaranteed today. Carr is now a free agent and expected to draw interest from Saints and Panthers and amongst others. There is another that I'm reading. Oh, hold on. What is?
Derek.
Let me take that out.
Also, good morning, guys. I mean, even though it's probably not morning, but
Yeah, good morning. Yeah, good morning to the nation, man. If you guys are just pulling in, this is your first time getting into the Boricua party, please hit that subscribe button, hit the like, hit that bell, man. Tell us, like, let's talk about it. Share it a lot. Share it out. Share the link. We are going live after the release of Derek Carr, giving our initial reaction to the release of Derek Carr. Not the era has finally ended. I mean, we knew it was going to end, but it has became official today that Derek Carr is a free agent, and the Raiders are going to move forward without Derek Carr. There is something I did want to talk about that it says the Raiders now have an NFL high 29.4 million in dead cap money after releasing Carr per OTC. I'm gonna look into that and then see where our cap. I know our cap is still gonna be good even with the releasing of Carr, but I want to get into
yeah.
that dead cap. I got to look more into that. There's a lot of information coming out now that this is official. We can start looking at the numbers with our cap. We can start looking at where can we go in free agency. Where is it now? The question is, we moved on from Derek Carr. Where do the Raiders go now? Aaron Rodgers, or do you go draft a quarterback, or do you go get another bridge guy in free agency? There's a lot to talk about today. Probably not going to be on for too long because, like I said, the writing was on the wall. We knew Derek Carr was going to be released. We were just waiting when it was going to be official, when we can now put the numbers together. Um, I think I see a tweet here that releasing Derek Carr was always in the cards for the Raiders and now gives a veteran quarterback a month head start on free agency. There is a legit chance the Raiders cut Derek Carr as the trade is much more complicated, albeit not impossible. Given how the league structures is calendar, Carr has a 40.4 million guarantee. So there still is a lot of numbers that we need to move around. But other than that, I am here for it, man. I am here. Like, I'm glad we are moving on. What's up, everyone pulling
At
up?
least
Shout
now.
out to John. Shout out to Exotic, Natural Nate, of course, here with me. Raider Scorpio. And we got our brother Van City also. Man, what is your now? We like I said, Nate. We know the writing was on the wall,
Uh-huh.
but now it's official. It is official. The Raiders are moving on from Derek Carr. Where do we go get Aaron Rodgers? Or like what do you
Um.
think of the mind of Ziegler and McDaniels? They now, cut Carr, they let him go. What is on the mind of Ziegler and McDaniels? Are they gonna go get Aaron Rodgers? Where are they going to attack somewhere else? Are they going to go draft? Like,
I have
what
a
are you
feeling in their
doing?
mind they I feel like I have a feeling in their mind is to go and get Rogers, and I feel like they feel like it's the good move for right now, and to also just just keep the draft quarterback in the, like, keep that draft the quarterback mindset still living, like, no matter what happens, like, that's just me. That's a hope. That's all
And
I
a
have.
lot of, and the thing is, I had this conversation a lot with a lot of at the Super Bowl party with a lot of our family and Raiders. Being Raiders fans. The thing is quarterback a top need? I don't think it's a top need. I still don't think it's a top need. Now, is it an important position? It is an important position. Do you need to go get Rodgers? You may need to go get Rodgers, but we've been complaining about what? The defense. We need to go after this defense, and I think that is still the biggest need that we need to address. Quarterback is definitely going to be up there. We're going to have a lot of questions. Where do we go in free agency? Where do we go in the draft? Do we go get CJ Stroud, or do we go get Aaron Rodgers? As we said yesterday, if you do get Aaron Rodgers, you're not getting CJ Stroud. So for the people that think that we're going to get both, that ain't gonna happen. You either get one or the other. It's not gonna happen. Um, Van City, man, I was like, we had to come on because for Van City, bro. I know Van City was gonna have fun with this. Van City's probably like popping champagne. Him and Rick Grimes, like they are popping champagne. They are popping like freaking party poppers. They throwing fireworks. Like they are having a celebration. As all, I think we all. I think I'm just glad we're moving on. I'm glad we're moving on. Shout out to
Yeah.
Raiders Scorpio. It's funny that ESPN say that Carr didn't want to help out the Raiders by not accepting trades. I don't think. I think he still just wanted to get paid. Um, a lot of people. We had a debate yesterday that some people think it wasn't that, but I don't know. I mean, Nate, what do you think about what do you think about Carr not accepting trades? Was it? Do you think it's a money thing, or was it that he
I
wanted to
mean,
really just go wherever he wanted and he didn't want to feel restricted from the Raiders?
yeah, I feel like yeah, we did talk about that in a good um period of last stream, and I believe that he just wants to stay on track for what is good for himself. At some sort, I feel like he was a little petty or whatever, to kind of have like the Raiders, like, kind of like a not happy goodbye, I guess. But I feel like he's like trying to focus more on himself, um, to just, I don't know, to he I feel like he definitely wants to play football.
I don't know. That's not. I don't think that's out the question. I just think I don't know if it was this thing that he wanted to still be looked at as one of the top quarterbacks in the league, and it's just that Derek, maybe you can be
Oh no,
the top
that's
quarterback in the league, but I don't think the thing is if you're going based off what you did, you're not a top quarterback in the league based off what you did.
yeah,
Mahomes
yeah, no,
already has two Super Bowls. He's younger than you, and he already has two Super Bowls. I hate that people was like, "Well, Mahomes went to a great situation." Offensive wise, he did. Defensive wise, bro, the Chiefs' defense was straight up trash. And Mahomes still took them to the AFC Championship and took them to the Super Bowl. So it's like, man, Mahomes is just that elite. Peyton Manning is just that elite. Tom Brady is just that elite. You're not in that category. And I felt like he was trying to kind of treating himself as I am in that category. I am a great quarterback. I am an elite quarterback. And it's like, no, dude, you're not. You're an average quarterback. I'm not saying he was a bad quarterback. He was average. Was there a time where he was a bad quarterback? Yeah, he played some games where he was bad, but he played some games where he was good. That's why he's average overall because he was inconsistent most of the time.
yeah.
And Raider Scorpion says, but it's actually that there are no teams that was willing to pay 40 million for Carr, and that's another thing. That's another reason why the trade wasn't going to work. But also, as Van City said, bro, let's get it started.
Bro, this reminds me of the Gunther cut.
Bro, let's get it started, bro. Let's get it started, bro. We're gonna celebrate, bro. We're gonna celebrate, man. Uh, but yeah, I think Raiders Scorpion. We in yesterday's show we talked about this. We think it wasn't no shade to the Raiders. It was no shade to the Raiders at all that he didn't accept the trade. It was the fact that one, no other teams were calling, and it wasn't because they're not interested in Carr. It's because they're not interested in his contract. I've been preaching this. I've been preaching this all season long that the Raiders don't want to deal with that contract. Other teams are not going to want to deal with that contract based off what they've seen, based off what they were seeing. They don't want to see that. They don't want to pay that man $40 million. So the trade wasn't going to happen. Releasing him is better for him. He can go see where he wants to go. And I just don't think he's going to get paid that type of money. I mean, what do you think, Nate? How you think this is going to transpire in free agency? If I was to ask you, that's
For him
what do you
or
think is
for
going to happen
us?
in free agency?
For him or
Hey,
for
we could do
us?
both parties. We could do both parties, Raiders and Derek. I mean, because I think Derek's
I
going to.
mean,
I think at the end of the day, Derek's going to the Saints. I think he's still going to the Saints. I think now they have more time that they can negotiate contracts and negotiate the money, and they can come to an agreement. I think he's still going to the Saints.
for him, I feel like since nobody's gonna pay that much, so I feel like he's just gotta deal with it and just uh realize that the only way he's gonna hop on a team is if I don't know he gets paid for like on how he plays, which is not 40 million a year, and for us, because I feel like he's gonna either go on a team like the Texans, the Saints, or whatever. Um, Shoot, he might. Imagine if he
I
goes to the
think
Colts.
Panthers and Saints are my top two teams. I think he'll go to.
Imagine if
And
another
then the thing, what I think what sucks is that I think what sucks for the Raiders standpoint is that you're not going to get anything out of this. You're only going to
yeah,
get cap freed up. I think would it have been nice to get something out of Derek Carr, like get a trade? It would have been nice, but that's just not where it didn't happen. It wasn't going to happen because as Raiders Scorpio says here, no one's going to pay that type of money. No, nobody was going to do it. Van City celebration. Good. Yeah, come on. Raiders Scorpio Carr thinks he deserves $40 million a year, but I guarantee you he is not getting paid like an elite quarterback wherever he goes. And I think that's the problem is that um I understand. I get it where he's coming from, but it's like, dude, like that's why when this conversation came up yesterday, that is it about the money? Is it not? It had to be about the money because if it wasn't about the money, he would have accepted the trade. He feels he's worth the $40 million a year. And I think because he feels that way and teams know he feels that way, it could be a while before, hey, we will know during next season or not. Because most of the teams that is interested in him is teams we play next season, like the Jets. I know there's a couple other teams. I mean, hopefully the Colts. I think we play the Colts also. Um, I'll be
they would be
excited
the
to see
team to get
Carr
the.
go to a team that we're gonna play next season. I want Carr to go to a team we play next season just so to see is it Carr or is it us?
For
Hey, seriously. Oh, who that dude says Jacoby Brissett and come this man's trolling. Hey, honestly, who that dude? Here's my thing. The only way Jacoby Brissett comes here is if you cannot get Aaron Rodgers and you can't get Jimmy Opolo as our Niner amigo would say. Jimmy Opolo ain't a guy, and we know I know I'm saying his name wrong, but that's how he says it, and it's like the funniest shit ever.
Jimmy
It's the
Garoppolo.
funniest shit ever that he says his name like that. But yeah, I think if you can't get Rodgers, they're gonna probably go attack Jimmy Garoppolo. And then if they can't get him for whatever reason, like if he's asking for too much money, Jacoby Brissett is probably your next bet. John, shout out to John Bonilla. Chapter close on DC, and I'm excited for the future. That is where I'm at, John. I am there with you.
Yeah,
Like I'm just
yeah.
like glad we finally can close this. Instead of talking about it and waiting, we can finally be like, now, what are the Raiders gonna do at quarterback? What are the Raiders gonna do for the future to let's go chase some playoff wins. Let's go chase a Super Bowl championship. Because I honestly would say I think DC needs a different. He needed a different scenery. The Raiders needed to, figure out what we got going on over here. It's good for both parties on this divorce. What do you think, Nate? How do you feel about the future?
Bro, I'm like in the future already. Like we don't have a losing stud. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't have to
Yeah.
like we're not stuck on somebody now who is the leader of,
So a
the
tweet.
team.
It's funny. A tweet just came out. Someone tweeted Josh DeBow, and they said, "Correct me if I'm wrong, but Derek Carr is leaving as he's holding all franchise records, right?" And Josh DeBow hit him with yards, touchdown, comebacks, game-winning drives, and losses. Yes, Derek Carr is leaving with that. He is not leaving with the franchise record in wins, in playoff bursts, and playoff wins. He's not leaving with that.
Super
That's
Bowl
the main
wins.
stat I care about is wins, playoff bursts, and playoff wins. Touchdowns, yards, comebacks, game-winning drives. Those are all nice and cute, but you weren't winning here, man. Like that. That's why he got cut. That's why it's official. Finally, it's official. He just wasn't getting the job done.
Yeah.
It's someone said another tweet. I'm reading different types of tweets, guys. Because again, we're going through the numbers about the dead cap. I guess there is dead cap that is getting hit with the $5 million. It's adding to past dead cap. So there's dead cap for Kenyon Drake. There's dead cap for Carl Nassib, Corey Littleton. They're all getting paid. Um, and not playing for the Raiders. And that I think Kenyon them. That's the only thing I think with you chose to as Josh DeBow pointed out, chose to pay Brandon Bolden and then take the dead cap hit on Drake when they could have just kept Drake and not signed Bolden. And me personally, I think Kenyon Drake is way better than Brandon Bolden. Like that's crazy. That's crazy to me. That is very
Mhm.
crazy to me. Raider Scorpio says, I said it before and I'll say it again. I know he didn't say it, but he said it before, he'll say it again. Raiders need to leave A-Rod alone. Sign Stidham, draft a quarterback, pay players who want to win, fix the defense and the offensive line. Raider Scorpio, I think me and you are the only guys that are on board with that. I get it. A lot of people want to win now. That's what I said. Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers. If he's here, he'll win you games. But the thing is, let's think about this long term. We need a franchise quarterback. We need a franchise quarterback. I'm really serious, guys. Let's say CJ Stroud goes to a different team and balls out. And then we're over here like, damn, the Raiders could have possibly had a chance to draft that kid. The Raiders could have had a chance to draft Will Levis. Because the thing is, the Raiders had a chance to go draft Patrick Mahomes. We just didn't because Derek Carr went to the playoffs the year prior. We
What
had a
round
chance to
did
draft
Patrick
Josh
Mahomes
Allen.
get drafted?
17 overall, I think. 17 or 12. I know he went between like 10 and 20. He went between there. But the Chiefs
Mm.
ended up trading though. The Chiefs traded up to get him, but we could have got him. Anybody could have got Mahomes. The thing is, my thing is this, guys. I'll say this time and time again. Chiefs only going to be Mahomes. Nobody else knew Mahomes was going to be Mahomes because if teams did, Mahomes would have went number 1 overall, or he would have went in the top 5, top 10. Joe Burrow. Everyone knew Joe Burrow was going to be Joe Burrow. Bengals was the one that jumped on it, and good thing he's actually showing he is worth the first overall pick. I know he's overhyped. But Lamar Jackson, no one knew Lamar Jackson was going to be the best running back in the league. Sarcasm there, guys. Sarcasm there. And the Ravens took a chance on him. Russell Wilson. I think, yeah, he had a down year last year, but with the Seahawks, he took them to the playoffs. He took them to 2 Super Bowls, won with them. No one gave Russell Wilson a chance. He got picked in the 3rd round. Tom Brady, the greatest quarterback of all time, picked in the 6th round. The point is here, guys, we're never going to hit on a quarterback if we don't draft one. Why not take that risk? Why not take that risk and drafting your future quarterback and hoping that that quarterback is the one? I like CJ
Well, I
Stroud.
said
I
we
think he
still
has the
though.
more, huh?
Oh, I said we even if we get Aaron Rodgers, we could still draft a quarterback.
Yeah, but would you rather go draft that quarterback seat like CJ Stroud first round, or go late in the rounds? Then you got to go with Hendon Hooker and then below. Anthony Richardson will be off the board. And the thing is, I think Green Bay wants more than just a first round pick. You're giving, like, we got to remember, if Aaron Rodgers was a free agent, boom, I'm okay. Bring in Aaron Rodgers because then we still have the 7th overall pick. But no, if we bring Aaron Rodgers here, Nate, we're not going to have that 7th overall pick. We're not going to have our second round pick, possibly. We may not even have our first or second in next year's draft. Like, do we really want to give up on draft capital for a 39-year-old quarterback that may left in the tank? You want to give up
I
future
mean,
for
if
right
we get
now.
a
The
quarterback,
Rams did
I'm
it. I
down.
know the Rams Super Bowl, but now they're ass cheeks. The Niners are doing it. They got eliminated from the playoffs, and now their future is really, like, people are not talking about it. Their future is really looking ugly because they got a lot of players that they gotta pay. They don't have the first pick is until I think the 4th round in this year's draft. I don't want the Raiders to be there. I want the Raiders to continue to build a championship team and not go get a guy that's going to set the Raiders back for years to come because they got to continue paying him after he retires. I would rather I trust a young guy. I mean, what do you think? I mean, you want Aaron Rodgers. You want Aaron Rodgers. I don't go against that, but I don't want him. I do not want Aaron Rodgers. And people could say
I'm
I'm
just fine
bullshitting.
if
Hey, you guys could say I'm bullshitting, but no, I do not want Aaron Rodgers.
I just want to. I want two quarterbacks from this offseason, one from the draft. And at this point, I don't really care what quarterback we get because, like you said, like we don't even know what talent could come with that quarterback. So I'm fine with the Hooker or McKee
Yeah.
or whatever.
And I mean, I hear you. And I think, yeah, going back to that statement, I think, because who knows? Tanner McKee may be a good quarterback. Who knows? You pick him in the 5th round, 6th round, he may be a good quarterback. Jaron Hall, I'm really high on Jaron Hall as a late round quarterback. I really like that kid out of BYU. The only downside, he's 25 years old. He's, like I said, he's likely going to sit behind, like, whatever quarterback you draft, they're sitting behind Rodgers. Jaron Hall at 25, he may start at 27 years old, 27 or 28 years old. He may get his first NFL start. Like, that's crazy. So that's why I like CJ Stroud more. He's young. I believe he's 23. He may get his first start at 24 years old, which I think is a good, chance for him to start. And then with Tanner McKee, I think I like Tanner McKee out of Stanford. But the only thing is he sells a lot of balls. He can. It's like another Derek Carr on the deep passes wise, overthrows, underthrows. I also like that guy from I do like the guy from Fresno State. I just don't trust Fresno State quarterbacks after what we went through.
Right?
But shout out to Raider Scorpio. No Jimmy G. He is a winner, but he's never healthy. And yeah, I don't want Jimmy G either. This is why I say, guys, just go get your quarterback of the future. Go draft him. Go draft
To
him.
be honest,
Sean
I feel
Johnson,
like
I
that
did
team
see
is a
this.
winner.
I don't know if Nate's seen it. Did you see that CJ Stroud said he wants to team with Devontae Adams? I'm like, bro,
Shoot,
Josh
put me on
McDaniels,
a
bro,
team with
Stroud already
Devontae.
wants to be here. Like, that's like, go get a guy like that. Get guys who want to be here, who want to win. I really would love, man, seeing that'd be deadly. Thing is, I like Stroud also because he's mobile, but he also has a good arm. He has a good arm, has nice touch on a lot of touch passes, and I think Devontae Adams will just make him better. Devontae Adams made Derek Carr better. Adams will make CJ Stroud look better than he is. He's the best wide receiver in the game. I mean, I don't know how we can talk about it. NFL Network is actually officially talking about it right now that Derek Carr is officially released by the Raiders. I just also can't believe it took so long. It took so long for the news to drop. A-Rod, too much money is only putting a band-aid on a few years. What you think? I agree. That's where I said that in yesterday's show, Raider Scorpio, that this is just something that just to get them by, just to be like, okay, like we got our quarterback situation good for 2 years, but now we gotta scout for next two, the next 2-3 years. And I'm like, you got to draft a quarterback anyway. So why not go in the first round, go get CJ Stroud? And like I said, Ray Scorpio, if they do get Aaron Rodgers, hope, I just hope that they still go out and draft a quarterback. And I think it makes me a little bit nervous that if they go get Aaron Rodgers, are they going to go draft a quarterback? It makes me a little nervous because they're going to get Stidham back. That's the thing. They're going to get Stidham back. How do you feel about that, Ashley? In the chat, everyone in the chat, how do you guys feel about Stidham starting for the Raiders in 2023? Unpopular opinion. I'm actually going to put it so people who are joining in, they know what we're talking about. I'm going to put it right here. Nate, how do you feel about that?
Stidham, man. People are already saying Mahomes is a Hall of Famer. Um, Stidham starting. Uh, I feel like he would do good if we revamp the defense.
Yeah. But the thing, I already going to beef up the defense, and no matter who's the quarterback. That's why I'm like for people saying, oh, the O line's gonna suck. Rodgers doesn't want to come here because the line sucks. Stidham is gonna be running for his life. The defense sucks. It's like, you guys think that that the Raiders are just gonna go into next season with what they got? No, they're not. They're gonna retool the offensive line. They're going to stack up on the defensive side of the ball, and they're going to fix those needs. The thing is, why do I say Stidham at quarterback one? Cheaper option. And you've seen out of he's shown flashes, but he also shown hiccups. But the thing is, out of the out of the hiccups that he did, minus the interceptions, turning over the ball, the mobility that Stidham has, man, like how improvised he can be, how mobile he can be, and that him and that Devontae connection looked like it was already like clicking, against the Niners. I would not be upset. Now the thing is, we did talk about if you're Josh McDaniels, you wouldn't go that route because you're kind of on the hot seat and you got to make the playoffs. That's the question. Can Stidham take the Raiders to the playoffs? And I don't think that he can. I don't think he can, even with a good defense or good offensive line. I don't think he can. I think it's just unless he shows something that was like one comes week two and he's like balling out. That I just think out of what I've seen out of the two games, which is really unfair, I say he can't. But what do you think?
For like about Stidham, like
Yeah. Do you trust? I would say this. Do you trust him in 2023 to take the Raiders to the playoffs? Because at the end of the day, that is what matters in 2023. Raiders making the playoffs. Because if they don't, McDaniels is fired, Ziegler is fired, and we're back to square one.
um yeah, that's why cuz like them two, if we don't make the playoffs this next year, they're gone. And hopefully they have good and watch they have like good drafting skills. That's what I really don't want to see cuz like we were like talking about how like McDaniels was pretty good and like he wasn't like the real problem because Carr was. And I feel like we don't want to waste that because what if we get a coach? But I feel like that's what we did with Carr. Um, we didn't want to we didn't want to let him go. But man, having Stidham start,
Yeah. How do you feel about Stidham starting? Knowing that Dennis is on the hot seat, him and Ziegler on the hot seat, and Mark Davis wants a playoff appearance, do you think Stidham, like, I don't want to make it seem like, oh, you have to, get a quarterback. But I'm thinking like McDaniels, like, oh, I need to go get basically. Like, if he really does suck, you need someone who can save your ass. Do you
Yeah,
think Stidham can be that guy that's gonna save basically McDaniel's ass and take the Raiders to the playoffs and get McDaniel's another year to build this team?
I feel like he might have a shot. For him, he was looking like a Justin Herbert. Okay, that's
Better, not blowing no 27-0 leads though.
yeah. He was looking like a Justin. I feel like he could do pretty good to a consent. Like he can make the playoffs. I feel like, but like wild card hopping in there. I don't know.
I think it's making the playoffs. It does. Now winning a playoff game. I think taking the team to the playoffs. If you like, and the thing is, I gotta say this. Josh McDaniels, if you want to prove to the Raider Nation that Derek Carr did held the offense back, then you got to show Raider Nation that you can take any quarterback, any team to the playoffs. I feel also if you get Aaron Rodgers, there's that narrative still lingering around Raider Nation that Josh McDaniels is not the guy. There's still going to be that narrative. If I feel if you put Stidham in there, he knows Josh McDaniels' system. So there's no excuse why Josh McDaniels should do bad with Stidham. Stidham knows the system very well. We've seen it. I think if you build around Stidham, there's no excuse for Josh McDaniels. That's I'm
Yeah,
we talked about this last year. Last year, I wanted no excuses for Derek Carr. This year, I want no excuses for Josh McDaniels. Knows your playbook. He knows your system. You go build the offensive line around Stidham. You go build the defense. And there should be no excuses why you guys don't make the playoffs. You got the best running back. You got the best wide receiver. You got one of the best tight ends when healthy. You got one of the underrated slot receivers. And you may build off of that. Also, like you could go get a good wide receiver too. You can build that, and then you can also build the deep the extra money that you have by having Stidham to start. That's where I'm
yeah.
at. I want no excuses for Josh McDaniels this season. How do you guys feel about that? No excuses for Josh McDaniels. Like just like we did with Derek Carr. How about we go into 2023 with no excuses for Josh McDaniels? Let's get that trending. Let's get that hashtag trending. No excuses for Josh McDaniels. I'm just gonna put JMD because his name is long. How about let's do that? Let's
JMD.
do that. No excuses for Josh McDaniels. Like, if you cannot do it, the thing is, that's the thing. If Aaron Rodgers comes here, guys, people are not thinking about that. There's a lot of fire McDaniels guys. There's a lot of, that in the nation going back and forth. You bring Aaron Rodgers here, that is still going to be in the nation. That is going to be the new split. It's going to be the McDashians versus the McBashians. like
I
that's
mean,
that's
no,
going to be
no
the new
matter what,
thing.
I feel like no matter what quarterback starts and no matter what quarterback plays through this next season, it's ride or die for that man. Josh McDaniels.
Yeah, but I want no excuses for him. That's the thing. That's why for me, I'm I am cool with starting Stidham as the quarterback one. I know a lot of people are against it. I like a lot of people are like I feel like Nate. I think that is the biggest unpopular opinion. Like I think I'm not. I don't know who else will talk about it, but has anyone else talked about possibly starting Stidham? Like no one else. It's always go draft a quarter. Like we still need to draft a quarterback. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying that rookie quarterback should sit one season, learn the system under Stidham, and then they start the following year. But my thing is, if they fall, if they draft a quarterback and they start him next season, and you had a whole season learning Josh McDaniel's system, and then they find now you gotta like that is where I'm at. Like Stidham, it is in your shoulders, but Josh McDaniels, you can either do it or you can't do it. No excuses. If you want to convince that Raider Nation Derek Carr was the one that was holding back. Derek Carr was the reason why we went 6-11. Derek Carr, like, I'm not saying that's where he's at, but if you want to show that you're a head coach and you can win with anyone, you go with Stidham. Or you throw the man to the wolves and you start the rookie quarterback right away. Let me get into some of these comments. Shout out to everyone pulling up. Hit that subscribe button if you guys haven't. Hit the like. Share the link. Share the love. Let's talk about it. Derek Carr has been officially released, you guys. He has been officially released. Let me see. Raider Scorpio said, Green Bay will want our seventh. Yep, that was when we were talking about Aaron Rodgers. I think they want more. I mean, they want the seventh, but I think they want more also. Sean Johnson said, what's crazy? Brett Favre was traded to the Jets for a fourth-round draft pick. Just crazy. That is crazy. Then Brett Favre had his own shit going on, though. Raiders need to build now and start fresh and look to win now and the future. And that's where I'm at. You got to look at the future. Look, like, let's win now. Not only win now, but let's win in the future. I don't want to be like, we already been through this. We've been through making the playoff season, and then we're shit the following season. I mean, I don't want that. I don't want that. Shout out to Raider Scorpio. Stidham knows McDaniel's system and vice versa. Why not start him? He comes cheap, takes the money, fix the defense in the all line. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. I mean, I think this is a big unpopular opinion, Nate. Like, we need to talk about this more. We need to consider this more. Why not Stidham? Why not Stidham? Like, has he been actually given a shot? That's my thing. Stidham hasn't been given a shot until the last 2 games of last season. I would like to give him a shot. I like to see what he can do. But the thing is, we do need to talk about McDaniels and Ziegler on the hot seat. They need to make the playoffs or else they're gone. Can Stidham do that? That's where it is jumpy from McDaniel's perspective. It's jumpy. It is very jumpy because it's like, man, that is the safest way to go, like money-wise. It may be the better option, but if you want to guarantee yourself playoffs, yeah, you go get Aaron Rodgers. Like, basically, that is what it is, right, Nate? Like, you go get Aaron Rodgers to guarantee yourself a playoff spot.
That's why I just feel like, I don't know, it's sneaky because, like, for us to be able to win now and then later, I feel like drafting a quarterback for later is cool, and even having Stiddy on the bench is cool to win later. And not even that, if we can, I don't know, draft a sneaky quarterback if nothing is going right. Let's say if Rodgers just, I don't know, walks, we have that backup QB or whatever.
Raider Scorpio, you a troll, bro. You a troll. He said, but if he starts Stidham and say we draft a quarterback, it's hard to predict to go to the playoffs with quarterback with not enough experience. But it's okay. I give McDaniels 9 more years to get it. Bro. Oh, bro, he's trolling. Raider Scorpio's trolling, bro. Oh, the Kardashians are all crying right now. But hey, if they want to pop up, bro, they can pop up. I want them to pop up. Like, let's all talk about this. We're all Raiders fans. Let's all talk about this. Unless they're really packing their bags and they moving on with their Messiah, then that is what it is. But hey, yeah, bro, shoot, let's give McDaniels 9 more years. Shout out to Tyler Robbins. Shout out to Manuel Rodriguez popping up. Thank you guys for popping up. Yeah, we're, like I said, Derek Carr officially released. Really, like I said, we've been on the Carr talk for a while, so we're like trying to switch it up. We talked about Carr being released. Now we're throwing the idea out there of this going around. How do we feel Stidham quarterback 1 in 2023? I think it's a conversation that doesn't get talked about enough because all the Aaron Rodgers rumors, all the CJ Stroud, that talk. But how do we feel about Jarrett Stidham, guys, with the 2 games that we've seen in 22 against the 49ers and against the Chiefs? How do you guys feel about Jarrett Stidham at quarterback 1? If you're just pulling up, shoot your comments in. We'll read it. We'll read all comments. Um, Ask us any questions. You guys throw some questions out there for us. We would love to answer all questions. Let's talk about it. We are officially into the off season, and the Raiders. I don't think I've ever been this excited. We got like I really feel like the future is really bright for the Raiders. We've cut the guy that I feel has strung the Raiders from being consistent playoff contenders. Not saying a playoff contender, but being consistent because he took us to the playoffs 2 times. Not going to take that away from him, but consistent. I want to be consistent playoff contenders, not just make it 1 year and then you crap the bed the following season. No, let's be consistent. They're moving on from him. I think it is a bright, bright future for the Raiders organization. Tyrod Stidham's not the one. I'm not saying he's the one. I'm just saying as a bridge quarterback, that he can be a guy that that I think if you're talking about this season taking to the playoffs, I could agree with you on that. I think we just won't know. No, that's the thing. We don't know. Rob, you're a Niner fan, bro. You guys didn't know about Brock Purdy. I mean, he was Mr. Irrelevant. You guys drafted him on the last pick of the draft, and Brock Purdy came out there, was given a chance, and he freaking took won 8 games with the Niners. And I said this numerous times. If Brock Purdy didn't get injured against the Eagles, I'm not saying the Niners would have won, but it definitely would have been a different game because Brock Purdy did make a difference. And even Trey Lance. I mean, Trey Lance was up and down for you guys, but like I said, Purdy was given a chance, and Purdy took a lot. He took that chance and he rolled with it. Like, this is what I'm right here. That's all I'm saying. Give him a chance. Give Stidham a chance. That's all I was saying is that you need to give Stidham a chance, see what you got. But the thing is, Rob, the Niners and the Raiders are in different positions. Purdy was in there because of injuries. Jarrett Stidham would go in there because we ain't got no quarterback. I mean, Rob, you guys might have been there too because the Niners didn't have no quarterback either. like let's be honest. If Purdy was like, hey, you're thrown in there because, bro, we ain't got no quarterback. But
Dude, he was
I'm just
kind
saying,
of forcing that.
that's all I'm saying. Need a chance. How do you feel? I mean, how do you feel about that name in that narrative? Just give him a chance.
That boy was forced in there.
Yeah, Purdy was forced in there, but he took it. But the thing is, when forced in there, bro, he was Mr. Irrelevant. People thought the Niners season
Fred Warner
was done. They were 3-4. I believe, right, Rob? The Niners were 3-4. People thought like, oh shit, like, dude, the Niners are down to their third string quarterback, Mr. Irrelevant, last pick of the draft, goes on to win 8 games for the Niners straight, like all the way until the NFC Championship. I think it was probably more than that.
Like, of course, how you gonna
I'm
be
adding 8 games in the regular season. It was 8 or 9 games in the regular season, and then goes on to go to the NFC Championship. Like, all he needs is a chance. Like, I'm the same way Purdy was given a chance. I mean, don't go out there and break anyone's leg like to get them injured just to give Stidham a chance. But I think Stidham, just give him a shot. Give him a shot. Let me get into more of these comments. Manuel says our offense is not the problem. We ranked 12 over last year, and that's what I'm saying. I think it. Now, I will say this, Manuel. Did Carr kind of hold the offense back a little bit? I think he did. When you go 2 for 8 on potential game winning / game tying drives, that's your quarterback. I'm sorry, that's your quarterback. That's on your quarterback. The same way he gets the love for game winning drives, like he actually doing that, you're not converting on game winning drives. So I agree with you, but I think quarterback did play a part in some reason why we lost games. And yeah, we ranked 12, but I think the ranks didn't tell the entire story. The games did. And I think Jarrett Stidham just needs a shot. Raider 916 says, I say we just give Jordan Love a shot and build a defense. Trade Jordan. I mean, at that point, I say to go with Stidham if you're going to do that anyway. Like, I go with Stidham. Manuel says Stidham will take us to the playoffs. I think with the right team, a good defense, a good offensive line, Stidham may be a sneaky guy. He may do it. He may do it. Let's see. Tyler Ross said if the Raiders don't put up the money for Rodgers, the 49ers will. But Rodgers said he doesn't want to go to the Niners. Now, like I said, money does talk. Niners may put up that money, but the thing is, Ty Rob, from a Niners standpoint, do you guys want to be in salary cap hell? You already got CMC, you got Fred Warner, you got Nick Bosa that you guys got to pay next year. You got a lot of guys you guys got to pay next year. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. And the thing is, bro, you guys got Purdy. You guys are Purdy. Sean Johnson. If we do this right, we could get near $100 million in cap space with restructures and some cuts and 11 draft picks for this draft. That's what I'm saying, Sean Johnson. That is why I am really excited. I am really excited. How do you, looking at this, Nate? How do you feel about this going into this offseason?
I'm excited because we have a different drafter.
Talk that, bro.
That's the
People
main
are
reason I'm
sleeping
excited.
on Ziegler. People are doubting Ziegler, bro. I don't like that people are doubting Ziegler. Now, don't get me wrong. I question why Draft not use a single one. Like, that is probably the one thing I scratch my head like, damn, what the fuck? But then again, Jacobs was a beast. Like, of course, that's why you're not going to use him. But I'm excited to see what Ziegler, bro. Like, I think I'm excited because we actually have a GM that knows what the fuck he's doing. Like, that's all I'm excited for. Ziegler wants to build. Ziegler and McDaniel said, we want to build a championship team for years to come. I know Mark Davis's patience is thin, but Mark Davis, they got Devontae Adams. They signed Darren Waller to a long-term contract, signed Hunter Renfrow. They're working on a deal with Josh Jacobs. If they could lock up Josh Jacobs and you can still restructure some contracts with Max Crosby and Chandler Jones, if Ziegler does this, bro, Ziegler wants to build a team, and he knows he needs money to do it. He knows he needs money to do it. And I think he can build a champion. He can build a playoff contender this year. Super Bowl team, no. Playoff team, bro, you have one really already talent-wise, and you're adding, like, Sean John, if they do this right and they get $100 million in the cap and then adding to those draft picks, bro, the Raiders can really build a scary team. But they got to do this right. Right, Sean Johnson? They got to do it right. They got to do it right. Raider Scorpio says the Niners didn't give him a chance. It fell on his lap because of injuries. So Niners wouldn't even know about Purdy if they even would have made it out to. And yeah, you're right. Yeah, Raider Scorpio says crazy how shit happens. It is true because Purdy would never got the chance if they'll happen. I'm just saying, like, usually the times when those injuries happens and you go to a third string quarterback, you're not making the playoffs. You're not going to the NFC. I'm just saying, like, from a draft wise, the Niners hit on Purdy. Like, it's just showing, like, anywhere in the draft, anyone can be a star anywhere. It's not just the first round. It's the first and the seventh round. That's why I like, if you're going to go quarterback first round, you take Stroud. If you're going to go late round, then you go with McKee, you go from the guy from Fresno State, or you go for Jaren Hall, one of those three guys. But those are the only guys that I trust. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter where you draft. It matters who you draft. You got to go get guys that are going to help you win. Oh, he said they would have made it to the playoffs. Let's see. I think Rodgers wants in at SF. If he does, he does. Raider Scorpio says there's more bust than hits in past draft. I know it's a different staff, but I'm a little nervous, and hopefully they do it right. Hopefully they don't have that Raider stigma, right, Nate? Like, what do you think about that? Like, do you think Ziegler have that Raider in him and just fuck up the draft?
Nah. He gonna go crazy. You just gotta think positive. That's me.
Yeah. That's what I'm hoping. I think Raider Scorpio, me and Nate been talking about this. We're gonna be on top of the free agency because, guys, I know there's gonna be a lot of things you guys want to talk about. That's what I'm saying, guys. If you guys haven't already, hit the subscribe button, hit the like on this video, get our videos out there. We can get more Raider fans to talk about, because that's all we want to talk about. We want to talk Raiders football, and we love your guys' opinions. We love your guys' comments, because I love debating. Like I said, this show would be boring if we didn't debate. Like I love when we debate. And we got 7 people in the room. I appreciate you guys being here. Let's get more. They don't have to have the same opinion as us. That's what makes this stuff fun, right? That's what makes this stuff
Yeah.
fun. And Raider Scorpion, me, man, we've been sometimes all 3 of us, we all been debating like a lot. We do not see eye to eye at the time, but we love talking Raiders football. At the end of the day, we love talking Raiders football, and that's what it comes down to. But yeah, Nate, I mean, I just hope they don't Raider that shit up. We don't know what they're gonna do, and the thing is, we don't know what they're gonna do because of free agency. What if they go get a quarterback in free agency or get a defensive tackle in free agency like a Hargraves or Deron Payne, and then they go get maybe a Jesse Bates for like they start addressing some needs in free agency. Then it's like, okay, what do they do with that 7th overall pick? Do they still
Right.
go quarterback? Do they still go defensive tackle? Do they go offensive tackle because they addressed the needs at defensive tackle and quarterback? Like that's where it's like, man, what are they gonna do at that 7th overall pick? We won't know until agency, until we see what the Raiders do at free agency.
Is there even a bad pick? Like, except for it, like, is there even a bad pick up there for our number 7? Or nah,
No,
that we
I
can possibly
think
make a bad pick?
they can hit there, but at the same time, there's a lot of risk to picks. You don't want
Yeah.
to like reach for a guy, and then some of these guys, some of them just don't pan out. But the thing is like, man, Ziegler, go get the guy that we need, and he's gonna come in and help us win. That's the thing, and they can't miss. That's the thing, they can't miss. They
Yeah.
will only miss if they miss. Like if they miss,
Yeah.
like that's the only way they're missing. Tyler Ross says, yeah, talent wise, you have one already a quarterback, one already a quarterback, and you're in trouble and some defense. Yeah. I think we have the talent. One quarterback, fix the offensive line, get some defensive players, playoff contenders. I think you're bro. We're better than the Chargers. We're
Yeah,
definitely
bro.
better than the
Like,
Broncos. Like we're definitely better than the Broncos.
Chargers are dog.
I think we can compete with the Chiefs. I'm not saying we're better than the Chiefs. We can maybe compete with
Chiefs
them,
are dog. Overrated.
but hey, we still may get swept next year. But we're better than the Chargers, bro. We're way better than the Chargers. We're way better than the Broncos. I know they got Sean Payton. I'm not dissing on Sean Payton. Be better. I just think we're gonna be a little bit more better. And I think, like, bro, we always have the Broncos numbers. No matter who's coaching, no matter who's quarterbacking, we always, because the Broncos is our biatch, and I love it.
Yeah, bro.
I love it.
That is so
We own the
facts.
Broncos, bro. The Chargers is the only team that I'm like, bro, we should own them, but we don't. I don't know why we keep splitting with them. We should own the chokers. Like, see these guys right here? These guys right here, the Chargers, bro, that's all they are. They're cords, bro. They're cords. Let's go whoop some ass.
For they have one end and then they have another end. And that's all they
Bro,
do is just
they're
from
only
one end to
cords,
the
bro.
other.
Like, come on. But I agree with Tyler, bro. I just hope we can hit on those needs, Tyler. That's the only thing. Like, I think, and I said this, I hate the Niners. I hate the Niners. And it kills me even more when the Niners are good. Because you know why? It hates when they're good because the Raiders are ass. But when the Raiders are
Yeah.
good and the Niners are good, I'm like, I like it. You know why? Let's both make the Super Bowl. And let's
It
go
was
face
only
each other in the
the
Super Bowl.
it,
Better
it,
team wins.
it, it was only the 1970s when we were both balling.
For real. Hey, it was crazy, bro. And this is a Madden related thing. It's just for us to laugh at it. I did a simulation. I did it with Nate. I showed Nate. I
Oh,
did a
jeez.
2020 simulation with Derek Carr, like updated roster. Derek Carr is like 77 overall, and the defense was like 75 overall. Somehow, some way, I promise you guys, with everything, Somehow, some way, the Raiders and the Niners met in the Super Bowl, and the Raiders beat the Niners 40-28.
No
I don't know
simulation,
how. In some other multi-universe, that probably actually happened.
bro. Oh, and then all of it was simulation, huh? No played games.
Yeah, it was, bro. Every from week 1 to playoffs to Super Bowl, I simulated everything. I didn't play one single game, and it's funny
Yeah.
because I only did that because I'm like, you know what? I want to cut Derek Carr, and I want to see what moves I can do. I'm like, fuck, I can't cut him now. I was hella. I'm like,
Yeah.
can't cut. You know what? Derek Carr, like Madden version, Derek Carr knew I wanted to cut his ass, and he was like, "All right, bet I'm gonna go win a Super Bowl." I'm like, you fucking bitch,
That's
bro.
crazy. That's crazy.
But shout out to
That's
Sean
hella funny.
Johnson. People need to also remember Patrick Graham was the head coach at the Senior Bowl, so he got a head start on players that might fit his scheme. Only if defensive tackle Jalen Carter fell to 7, that's a dream pick. There were some cases. Sean Johnson, when we did a mock draft, Jalen Carter did fall, but as time is going on, Jalen Carter, it seems he's going number 1 to the Bears. Unless the Raiders, they give the farm to the Bears, I don't think we're gonna get Jalen Carter. Hopefully, I think if if the Bears Raider that first overall pick up, meaning they fuck that pick up and they don't get Jalen Carter, I can see Jalen Carter falling to the 7. Because teams in front of us, they need they need quarterbacks, they need other like defensive pieces, or like they may still take Jalen Carter. I think there's more. I just think that the teams in front of us, other than the Bears, are the only logical place I see Jalen Carter going to. Other teams, I don't see it. I don't see it. And maybe who knows? The Raiders may trade up more higher to like maybe inside the 5 to try to get maybe Jalen Carter in case he does fall. But I hope that happens too, John Johnson. I do hope that happens. John, you right, bro. Donkeys see us, bro. Donkeys can't see us. They can't beat us. They will never beat us. Like, bro, we own the donkeys. We own the donkeys, and I love it. I like it. Brings me so much joy.
Ever
It
since
may. I
Peyton
mean, it
Manning.
sucks because me and Nate's. Uh, Shout out to you, Ty Rob. Catch you later, bro. Have a good rest of your day, man. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, we're about to get off here in a bit. We're about to hit an hour. Um, but yeah, donkeys can't see us. And I was saying, me and Nate's grandfather, he is a donkeys fan, so it brings us even more joy. Brings us even
Yeah.
more joy. We love him. We love our grandfather, but brings us even more joy to see that we own his team.
Yeah.
But we're gonna head out, guys. It was fun talking Raiders football with you guys. As I said earlier, it is official. Derek Carr is officially released. He is going to get a head start on free agency, start talking with teams, and really, we're going to be playing the waiting game to see what the Raiders do. What do Ziegler and McDaniels have up their sleeve? We're going to be talking about it, watching it for you guys, and just like today, we are going to jump on and talk some Raiders football with you guys. Shout out to everyone that pulled up. Raiders Scorpio, Tyler Rob, Sean Johnson, John. Um, Shout out to Van City. Shout out to Raiders 916. Shout out to Manuel. Shout out to let's see, who that dude. Shout out to Exotic. Shout out to everyone pulling up. Thank you guys. On the way out, hit the subscribe button, hit the like, road to 500, and share the link around. Share it around. We love you guys. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
We is out of here. Peace. And hey, as always, even though Carr's gone, it is still Raiders.
Raiders, baby.